Tun Dr. Mahathir takes over as Acting Education Minister. Proton Perdana remains as official government car. Thanks for joining me, Renee Fong, on News on 2. The Cabinet has collectively agreed to appoint Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad as Acting Education Minister. The decision, made on 8th January, was conveyed in a statement released by the Prime Minister's office today. Tun Dr. Mahathir takes over the position from Dr. Mazli Malik, who resigned from the post on 2nd January, which was also the first day of school for the new year across the nation. He will hold the position until new Education Minister is elected. Under Dr. Mazli's watch, 90% of the project to rehabilitate dilapidated schools was completed ahead of schedule by the Education Minister, with the progress displayed transparently on the ministry's website. The zero dropout policy for undocumented children, reducing the workload of teachers, and anti-corruption measures. He was also lauded for initiatives like a free breakfast program for all students and dismantling subject streaming in schools to encourage more inquisitive minds and creativity. Ministers and their deputies will continue to use Proton Perdana as their official cars. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said the decision was made after it was confirmed that there was a sufficient supply of Proton Perdana units.
Untuk Menteri, kita nak kekalkan Perdana, tetapi kerana syarikat tak keluarkan Perdana, itu menjadi masalah. So, dan yang ada hanya tak cukup untuk menteri-menteri dan juga untuk timbalan menteri. So itu sebab kita berikan pilihan. Sekiranya tidak, kita pilih yang lain. Tapi sekarang kita dapat maklumat bahawa ataupun dapat pengesahan bahawa kereta perdana mencukupi. Itu sebab kita akan kekal dengan kereta perdana.
Met after the ministry's monthly assembly in Putrajaya, Lim, however, said the contracts for the supply of government official cars was currently being finalized and would be announced at later date. The appointment of the new companies follows the end of 25-year concession with Spanco Sunan Berhad in 2019. Meanwhile, Lim also refuted claims that members of cabinet were entitled to 4,500 ringgit parking allowance. There is no influenza infection cases reported among the Maktab Rendah Sains Mara MRSM students thus far. However, Mara will keep monitoring its education institutions IPMA with the collaboration and advice from the District Health Office.
Mara, in a statement, said all its education institutions had been instructed to strictly follow the standard operating procedure SOP in controlling the influenza A outbreak. The statement said so far there was no need to close any MRSM and IPMA operations, adding such closure would only be made if instructed by the Health Ministry. Mara also advised parents not to worry and to keep in touch with MRSM's management for verification.
The decision by several UMNO members to join Parti Warisan Sabah proved that they have lost confidence in UMNO's leadership and understand the objectives of Warisan to develop the state. Warisan President Datuk Sri Muhammad Shafi Abdul, who is also Sabah Chief Minister, however, reminded the party's leadership and machinery not to be overconfident and want them to work even harder to ensure Kimanis, which is considered a Barisan Nasional stronghold, is captured.
Dan hari ini ada lagi markas BN yang bubar. Ini menunjukkan bahawa sedikit sebanyak perubahan dan kesedaran masyarakat yang inginkan supaya BN dan UMNO ini cukuplah di Sabah ini.
Datuk Shafi was commenting on the 7 UMNO members who had quit the party and officially joined Warisan during the first 9 days of the Kimanis campaign period. Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah admitted that his duties as the current Malaysian king are indeed difficult and challenging. Sultan Abdullah said the responsibilities entrusted on him were very heavy, especially in uniting the multiracial society with diverse views and opinions.
Sultan Abdullah also gave his assurance that he would continue to unite the people and gave his level best to reach out to the people and assist them in every way possible.
Ingatlah, inilah satu institusi yang kita sama-sama perlu menyokong, hormati dan mudah-mudahan dapat naungi bawah satu institusi yang boleh memberi perlindungan kepada semua kaum.
The king said this after attending the Thanksgiving prayer in conjunction with the first anniversary celebration of his ascension to Pahang's throne on 15 January at Istana Negara. The event was attended by about 500 guests, including 4 generations of the Pahang royal family. Sultan Abdullah was proclaimed the 6th ruler of Pahang on 15 January 2019 to replace his ailing father, Sultan Ahmad Shah, before the latter passed away on 22nd May the same year.
The Kuala Lumpur High Court postponed the trial of 3 men in a murder case involving an unemployed man who was allegedly beaten to death at the PPR Desa Rejang, Kuala Lumpur in 2018. Judge Colin Lawrence fixed 31st January for the trial.
Based on the charge sheet, the 3 accused, namely B. Davendran, K. Nilamegan and P. Hurisudan, are charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code. They were accused of beating the 53-year-old victim, Saktivadil Villain, to death at the said location. Muhammad Razi Shah Abdul Razak prosecuted, while the 3 accused were represented by lawyer K. Silva Raja.
Up next, Budget 2020 expenditure allocation to be used in the same year.
Non-stop Facebook, non-stop YouTube, non-stop entertainment your way with Hotlink Prepaid.
Welcome back. The Finance Ministry has taken measures to ensure the development expenditure allocated in the 2020 budget will be used in the same year. Minister Lim Guan Eng said this is because the development expenditure under Budget 2019 have to be spent this year as it was not used last year due to internal operational problems. Speaking to reporters after the ministry's monthly assembly and launch of 2019 report card in Putrajaya today, Lim said the internal operational problems and bureaucracy had been handled by the Chief Secretary to the Government and Treasury Secretary General.
Tapi telah berlaku dan kita telah adakan mesyuarat untuk belanjawan 2020. Mesyuarat pun diadakan pada tahun lepas untuk belanjawan 2020 supaya program-program dapat dilaksanakan pada tahun yang sama, bukan 1 tahun kemudian.
Commenting on the 2019 budget development expenditure, Lim said the Finance Ministry had disbursed the funds to all ministries in January last year, but some of the ministries only released them to their respective agencies and departments in May, and this delayed the tender process, which was carried out 3 or 4 months later. The new generation of Federal Land Development Authority Feld settlers have to embrace new technology and methodologies in order to continue striving in the current economic climate. Economic Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali urged Feld settlers to adopt the new business model introduced by the government, which encourages the use of technology. Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin said most pioneering Felda settlers are now in their retirement years, and it is mainly up to the new generation to maintain and develop their plans.
Kerana sebahagian besar daripada pengelola asal Felda dalam pun berusia, sudah tentulah mereka tidak dapat membanting tulang untuk membangunkan tanah tersebut. Namun generasi muda ini lebih berminat sekiranya tanah-tanah itu dibangunkan dengan menggunakan teknologi baru.
He added the younger generation of Felda settlers seem to prefer using technology and new methodologies to develop their land, and this is in line with the new business model. Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin was met after handing over the keys to new homeowners at the revived Felda New Generation Housing PGBF projects at Felda Sungai Nibol in Johor. And that concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. Thanks for joining me, Renee Fong. Have a pleasant evening.